Hi, my name is Scott. I just wanted to share my technique for creating Orgone devices. I've been studying for the last month on how different people create Orgone devices. I had tried making some about a year and a half ago, and I didn't have the the ratio of the resin to the hardener correct, and the Orgone did not come out very well. So now I'm trying it again after having done more studying and practice. I actually have not made any devices yet, but I am confident that they're going to come out really well, or if for some reason there is an issue, then I'll learn from it, and the second batch will be really good. So I just want to share some of the materials I'm using in making Orgone devices to inspire others, and also just to share how I do it in case anyone ever wants to know. So here are all the materials I'm using to make Orgone devices. There's one other item which hasn't arrived yet. I'm going to use silicone mold to make some what are called tower busters. Mine are going to have more purpose than just tower busting, but I'll explain what that is in a minute. So first, to explain what an Orgone device is. This is one that one of my friends created, this pyramid right here. So an Orgone device is something that takes negative energy and transmutes it into positive energy. And this energy is also called prana, chi. There's a lot of different words for it, and there's different types of prana and chi, which I personally could not explain too well, but I've been doing Tai Chi for 20 years, so I do have some understanding of it, but to fully explain it is very tricky. Anyway, some Orgone devices are in the shape of sacred geometry, like pyramids or spheres or octahedrons. I had a vision of creating a double pyramid, so it would be two pyramids joined together to form an octahedron, an 8-sided object. So at some point I'm going to use these molds to create pyramids and then join them together. I may make them about 4 inches long and then join them together bottom to bottom. Then had another vision for creating Orgone devices, which is something I've heard called tower busters. And tower busters are an Orgone device that helps transmute negative electromagnetic frequencies from cell phone towers or antennas or devices that are connected to power lines, just anything that has an energy that may not be healthy for your body. This helps transmute that energy. And my understanding of the way it works is that there's a quartz crystal inside, and when you make this resin harden, it actually compacts inside and creates pressure on the crystal, which releases an energetic pulse from the crystal, and then it emits energy, chi, from inside the device that uses all of the materials within the device you create to send out a frequency. And for helping bust towers or improve the energy around cell phone towers or radio antennas or TV antennas, the common formula is to take about at least 50% metal, and then you add one quartz crystal, and you add some resin to your mold, and that's the basic formula for creating a tower buster. And then people often add their own twist to it that they're intuitively drawn to, and I was drawn to add additional minerals and also add some copper coil work to it as well. So I want to explain my process for creating Orgone balancing devices, then I'll show you some of my materials. So the first step was to ask people who already make them for advice on what lessons they've learned and best practices they have. That was really helpful. Then I watched a few videos of people explaining the same thing, actually showing pictures of their materials. And then I really set an intention for what I wanted to do with in creating Orgone materials. And my intention is to transmute any electromagnetic frequencies that are not beneficial to people or plants or anything living, so to transmute, and then also to send a good and positive energy from the Orgone device I create. And it would be really for the betterment of any life, people, animals, plants, and also the earth herself, which is a living being. And then I bought some materials. These materials are right here, which I'll explain in a minute. And there's the mold for the tower busters. Then I'll create them, which will be the next step after this video. And then I'll place them in the environment in a place I feel will be beneficial, gift some to friends and family, and then I may sell a couple or a few just to help pay for materials for the ones that I'm giving away to friends or to help the environment. So here are some of the materials. I use a clear polyester resin. There's many types of resin. This is the one I'm using. It comes with a catalyst to harden the resin. It's inside a bottle there. And figuring out the right number of drops or the right level of hardener to add to the resin is tricky. That's something I'm still studying, but I think I'll get it right. But basically, the larger amount of resin you use, the less catalyst you use. And I have an ejector for the devices. I'll spray this on the mold to help release the device from the mold. I have measuring cups right here, so be able to measure the right number of ounces of resin to drops of catalyst. And I'm using aluminum shavings as my metal material, and then I have my quartz crystals. So the thing that I'm going to be doing extra, intuitively I was drawn to do, or add some additional gems and minerals and materials to the tower busters. I'm first going to work on the tower busters before I get to the octahedrons. So for my tower busters, I plan on adding, again, about 50% of the mold be aluminum. I kind of like that classic feeling of it being 50% metal. And then I'm going to add a quartz crystal, and I've added a spiral around all of my quartz crystals. I feel like that will help. The intention is to circulate the energy and create a spiral. So I feel like that will help improve the flow of the positive energy, which is part of the intention in creating the device. And I'm going to add some copper clippings from extra wire I had. I've got about 10 gems and minerals. I've also got some grounding materials. Hematite I like a lot. This is magnetic hematite. So I'll be adding something grounding, something uplifting, and also something magnetic. And here's some selenite and kyanite mixed together. I'll be adding some of that. I'm going to powderize this shungite, which helps reduce EMF frequencies and balance energy. I'll make that into powder and then add that as a layer to the Orgone device I create. And here's some of the gems and minerals I was drawn to add. This is bloodstone, peridot, crushed emerald, larimar, more hematite. This is angelite, celestite, pyrite, rainbow hematite, lapis lazuli. It's actually a pink plastic bead, but I just thought it looked cool, or felt cool as well. And this is amethyst and a couple size spheres and some dust from crushed amethyst, pink quartz, and citrine and some crushed citrine. Some more shungite. This is called elite shungite. It's a little silvery. And that's my plan for the first round of Orgone devices. Just wanted to share that while I'm excited about planning it out. So then later on, if someone's really interested in how I created them, they could come back and look at this video. Take care.